What's up, everyone? Today we are here with Suzi Butts, who is also the owner of Butts Healing. She's a traveling bartender. She is just on her amazing path of just living in this world and doing your own thing, man. And that's what I love about you the most. And I've known you for probably like 2, 3 years. Oh, I've been here for 2 years in this building.
Are you ready for
Actually, 3
this?
years.
Almost exactly a year to the date.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow. I thought it was way longer than
No,
that.
dude.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Super happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Also, you work with plant medicine and have journeyed into Peru and done all of that kind of stuff. I would love to. Well, actually, we were just talking kind of about uh, your your Lyme disease and stuff like that, and just like how you were dealing with that with Kambo and everything, and like the protocols with that. What were you doing? What like so when we look, I guess let's start with Kambo, if you're okay
Sure.
with that. Is like if we look at Kambo, what for people at home, what actually is Kambo? And then I wanted to ask, because this was my own question on like you said there was a protocol with Kambo. I thought you just like did the medicine on your skin and then you did the stuff with the smoke and then you walk people through their journey and stuff. But what is the difference like with protocol? Like what is a protocol?
Sure.
And stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. First off, Kambo is a plant medicine. It comes from a frog. I'm wearing my little frog ring, always representing.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that. That's a cute ring.
I actually have the frog tattooed on my leg.
That's awesome.
It's a bicolor Medusa frog. It is one of the only animals in the jungle that actually has zero predators.
Because of the poison?
Because it's just so gentle. Like it just doesn't have any predators. Like there's no, awesome. I don't think the poison does anything to them, but they just don't have any predators. And this medicine has been helping tribes in the Amazon for a long time. So what ended up happening, the story and the legend is that a tribe member, a leader, was having difficulty understanding why or what to do to be able to save the tribe because everybody was dying. Because the Westerners, call out our people, went in there and gave them a whole bunch of diseases that they've never had before. Really? So then they were dying.
Like not intentionally, but just like because we were carrying them?
Yes. Wow. Just because they are so pure. They're working with the land. You know, they never been exposed to things that we've been exposed to. And so then they went there to do, you know, expeditions. Is that the word?
Yeah.
And a lot of the tribes got sick and stuff like that. So one of the leaders drank ayahuasca.
Which I think everybody just about has heard of ayahuasca.
Yes, ayahuasca is a beautiful DMT. We'll get into that here shortly. He drinks the ayahuasca and he drinks it next to the grandfather tree, the big tree. And he's pretty much asking, you know, what can I do to help, to cure? So he received this information during his journey from higher wisdom saying, this is the frog, and put the frog on the tree and showed him how to like take it down the tree, show them how to work with the medicine and stuff like that. And it saved many, 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 many people.
You know, really quick, and sorry for keep cutting in, but I have so many questions or thoughts about all this. Is like, that's something that's always amazed me about like the tribes and stuff like that. And like the Native Americans, just like all the people was just like, how they were able to just connect and learn this plant is for this or this animal is for this. Mm-hmm. And it's like, because there's no way they just went around eating plants or doing different things with plants just to see if it worked. And
but
it's like
at the same time, so when I was in Peru, and I'll just bring this up because Kambo is in Peru, and I went there to work with Kambo as well. Nice. So in Peru, the tribe members that are, or the people that live on the land that I went to study on, they know there's 150 medicinal plants on that land, and they know every single one, all the properties, what it does, and it's all just like different leaves. It's absolutely insane.
That is
one
insane.
Of the guys that was showing us around told us a story about when he first got there, when he first lived there. He was in the jungle and he got bit by a snake. and he was far away from home, but he knew what plants to crush with what and how to get water out of like a tree and drink it to survive, wrap his leg and give himself enough power to make it back, walk to his home in order for another elder to be able to give him more plant medicine that healed him. And now he walks that jungle like he owns it.
Yeah.
And he's like, I know everything. They're not going to get me.
Did he know this prior to the snake bite, or did the snake bite him and then all of a sudden he got a download?
He knew a lot. Mm-hmm. He knew a lot already because he lived there. But like after the snake bite, he was just like,
yeah,
it's time. It's like he's the keeper of that area, you know?
Amazing, though.
It's such a beautiful story. And then his grandmother, who was like 85, made the journey down while we were there. And she has this plant medicine that she makes. It comes in a bottle. I brought some home, and it's for joints. Okay, it's for joint pain and stuff like that. And she has trees on her land, and she kept on having these dreams of the spirits of these trees telling her to put them together and to let them ferment for a certain amount of days. Like it was told to her, because her husband was dealing with such a bad disease that he couldn't move because of his joints were so stiff. So she was praying. It came to her. She's doing exactly what she's guided to do. Doesn't know what the hell she's doing. Okay. Serves it to her husband. Her husband is an excruciating pain for like 2 or 3 weeks because it's regenerating his whole entire cellular body. Mm-hmm. And after that, him, her, or her kids have never had any joint problems.
Wow.
Completely gone.
Can you imagine having that much faith in what you're seeing to like first put a few things together and just say like, I'm being told to do this, but then actually ingesting it and then being in pain and just saying like, I know this is supposed to be, and then following through with it and then seeing those benefits. Like that's just so much faith in what you're seeing, and just I don't know.
I can't imagine that. That's what I strive. That's my goal. You know what I mean? Yes. When I think about connectivity with the medicines and with the plants, that's where I want to be. Mm-hmm. So yes, I can imagine it. But do I understand how it feels yet? No, but I can only imagine how connected and freeing and peaceful that place must be. Because to be able to receive that kind of information, you really have to have that clear vessel. You know what I mean?
And you do. And trust. And
a lot of trust, yes. Yeah. And just, I think right now what I'm working on is, actually on my way here, I was working on this as well. So funny. Distinguishing between intrusive thoughts and thoughts that are really mine. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like as I work through the trauma and all this healing path that I'm on and stuff like that, new things always come back up. And I was in the car and I was like, oh my God, like, are my dogs okay in the house? And like thinking about people breaking into my house. And I was like, where is this thought even coming from? You know, like, and I like literally cut the chains and asked them to go. My throat got weird. I asked my ascended masters to help me, and I cleared all that shit out because it comes up randomly with your trauma. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy to see where you were and where you can go. But like wherever you are at the top, there's still more to do. There's always more to do.
There was a time in my journey where I was like, I haven't had anything come up in like 2 years at this point. And I'm like, I feel like I don't know if I have anything else that needs to be worked on. I know I should, but like maybe I just processed it and it was fine or whatever. Right. And I asked my guides, I was like, can you please show me anything that I need to work on or any kind of shadow work? And then I forgot that I asked. And then like 2 weeks later, I started having all this stuff come up, and I was like, why is all this stuff coming up? And then I was reminded that I asked for all this stuff to come up, and I was like, oh man, makes sense now. And it was, I don't know, it's just insane. But anytime I have anything come up though, I always am very thankful for it, because I know that once I work through it and process it or whatever I need to do, it's going to make my life better. And I just look at it as an opportunity to move forward. And yeah,
Absolutely. It took me a long time to get there. It
yeah,
did. I just got there like this year.
really.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's awesome though. Like that you are getting there and you're able to see
Yeah.
that.
I think coming from a family where, I was the only girl and I had four older brothers and we're Arabic and stuff like that. And it's just like we live a very different kind of life. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So even right now, like when I go back to visit them, it's very weird because they're like, oh, this is, plant medicine lady.
Yeah.
It's like still bartending. I know she bartends half naked, you know what I mean? I also know that she goes and helps and heals. So it's like they know I'm
Yeah.
married to a woman. When I come home, it's just weird. I feel so out of place.
Mm-hmm.
But like the one thing that's undeniable is when I go there now, they feel the love. Like I've done a
Mm-hmm.
Reiki session on my brother. My mom is starting to, I'm calling my mom every day. So it's like really beautiful because now I'm understanding that I'm reaping the benefits of me saying, thank you for letting that happen. So now
Yeah.
this is how everything has changed. Once you tap into gratitude, you tap into that vibration, everything in your life changes
Mm-hmm.
because then God, source, universe goes, oh, they're in the receiving mood, right? Because if you're giving gratitude for everything, that means your nervous system is okay with it coming, it going, and then that open flow. Because the energy flows through the body like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you just need that ebb and flow. And I also see that way with like light and dark. There's a lot of people are like, oh, I'm love and light. And I'm like, bullshit, you can't be in love and light if you've never been in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
You just can't. You can't do light work if you've never done shadow work.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of the things with my family was a lot of my shadow work, and now I'm like, all right, now I have to heal myself and heal them. You know what I mean?
Well, I think by healing yourself, there's like a part of your family that is healing passively with that, which is something honestly I didn't ever realize happened. I kind of like was told it happened. I learned it happened, but I never experienced it happening until I had my first son, honestly. And I would be working on things, and then I would see like spirits visiting him, or he would have spirits visiting him, and he would tell me about it, or like I don't know, just crazy things. And I was really, I want to tell a really quick story because this is a really cool. I just was telling my son, he's 7 now, about to be 8, and he was maybe 3, 4 years old. And I went into meditation. I went into a past life, and I was in like a ditch in war in like a jungle kind of area, and and I was in this ditch, and I had this guy that was with me, and it felt like a really close bond with him, almost like he was my son or he was my best friend, one of the two. And we were in there, and I'm like, dude, we are fucked. Like they're everywhere, blah blah blah. And he's like, dude, we got this. And he like took a grenade. He had a grenade on his side, and he opened it, and he said, "Fire in the hole!" And he threw it. And then as he did, he stood up and he threw it, and he got shot, and then he died basically in front of me. And I was like, oh, and I felt so much emotion from that. And I was like, that was really intense, and had no clue what was going on there. But I did feel like that might have been my son in a past life, like as my friend or something like that. So uh, a day or two goes on, and I'm delivering papers for the Cincinnati Enquirer. I'm out at nighttime. I'm delivering papers. It's like 3 in the morning, and everywhere I go, I'm seeing this soldier standing there with a grenade on his hip, and I'm like, who is this soldier? And all night I saw it, and then my wife the next morning, she texted me and she was like, have you ever said fire in the hole to Liam? And I was like, no, why?
Wow.
And she was like, because he just like ducked down behind the footstool and threw one of his toys and said fire in the hole. And I was like, oh my gosh. And that, but the reason I bring that up is because like what actually happened there is like I'm working, because I did go experience that past life, but I was also sending light to it. I was processing the emotions and understanding what happened, but he was too. And that rubbed off on him, and it was in his energy field to where he remembered the fire in the hole thing. And as a 3-year-old, you don't learn fire in the hole usually. So it was just crazy experience with that. So I think like with you doing your healing, it is passively helping your family heal in different ways. And sometimes that's enough to get them to like journey down a healing journey or something like that. Is your family pretty like accepting of what you do for the most part? Or?
I think that they're more accepting of this than they are of my sexuality. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like I kind of ripped off the Band-Aid and they're like, eh.
I guess that's true. Yeah. It's like give them the big thing first and everything else
Yeah,
is
so
easy.
like if I can heal right now, like we're just healing our relationship, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't think that they care about anything that I do because they know I'm going to do it anyways. And I always function from a place of love. And, you know, the less that they ask, the less that they know, the better.
I agree. Yeah. And where did you say you were from again? I can't remember. I was thinking like Ukraine, Pakistan. I couldn't remember.
Almost there. Come on, give it one more guess.
Oh, shoot, I have no clue.
Lebanon. You were never going to get it.
I wouldn't have got it at all. Did you grow up there?
No. So do you want like a little bit of a life story kind of timeline?
And also if you want to integrate just like how we were talking before, just like how you actually got to where you're at right now, just integrate it all in there.
Sure, yeah, I'd love to. It's a little bit of a wonky story, so like I'll have to kind of give a little bit of a short, and then we'll get to like the plant medicine part.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I was. Should I look at the camera?
You can look right. No, you can look at me.
Okay. Yeah. So I was born in New Jersey. I lived in.
I can totally see that.
Yeah, yes. It's that little sass, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Lived there for 7 years. Lived there with my mom and my dad and my 4 brothers. My mom and my dad moved here with one of my brothers to America, and I was born here with the rest of my brothers. We lived there for 7 years, and then my parents are like, okay, we really got to get this, Arabic chick back to Lebanon to like, get her to get accustomed to the Arabic way and stuff like that. So we moved. We went to Lebanon, where my parents have homes out there and stuff like that. And
how old did you say you were?
I was like 7. And by the age of 7, I had already been in, I want to say 3 wars, maybe 3 wars in Lebanon. Wow. And so then we were living there and it just got dangerous again. So then my father owns a home, like a compound in Africa, in Gambia. So then he had a summer home and he traveled back and forth. He had like an import-export business going on here. And we're in Lebanon, and it's me and my mom and my brother. And we're like, okay, we need to leave because it's getting very dangerous. And we couldn't use our American passports to get back to America. So then we use our Gambian passports to get to Africa. So we get to Africa and we end up staying there for 4 years. Wow. We just absolutely love it. I learned the language. I become one with the culture. I eat the food. So we used to have like maids and stuff like that, and like chauffeurs and stuff like that. The house is like 13 bedrooms, like 7 bathrooms. It has like a separate house for like the watchman. It has like a separate house for the maids and stuff. But they weren't like maids to me. Like me and her name was Nyuma. There was 2 of them, Nyuma and Binta. I'll never forget them. And they were like my friends. You know what I mean? So like we hung out, we watched movies together, like we joked around. Like whenever my dad would get too serious, we'd make fun of him, like we just we were friends. They didn't do anything. I didn't make them do anything for me, really. You know what I mean? Like they just were, I love them. Yeah. And but my dad that made them do like the work or whatever. But he paid them really well, honestly. So we lived there for 4 years, and my father was very close with like the president that was there. So we'd often go to like gala dinners and stuff like that. I was really close friends with the vice president's daughter. We went to the same school. It was a very private school in Banjul in Gambia. And it was an all-grade school. So it was the weirdest thing, right? It was a very expensive private elite school. And it would go from all the way to kindergarten, all the way to 12th grade. And there might be, I want to say like 75 students in the whole entire school.
Oh, wow.
So when you'd go to lunch and stuff, you'd be breaking with like, the young kids all the way to seniors. And it was so weird,
Yeah. How many kids were in a class typically?
I mean, sometimes 3.
Yeah.
you know? And during that time, it was this African private school, right? And it was like me and this girl that her mom owned like this jewelry store in town, and a couple other of us girls, like just a weird group. And we went to do a talent show. And, me being me, just like totally like spaced out. We ended up doing the song. It's Burr. It's cold in here. And this is in Africa. And we're doing that. And then it goes remix and it goes into Dirty by Christina Aguilera. And we're like taking off like our like we're changing like our clothes, and like my mom is is in the seats going,
oh I can only imagine.
Oh my God. I didn't realize what a ruckus I was back then, but that memory just came back and it was so funny. But that happened there. And then
it's like a scene from a movie or something.
Seriously, she's just like,
yeah.
So funny. Oh, God bless her. She's amazing. She really is. She just needs to, not be so,
old-fashioned, kind of,
yeah.
Or set in their way.
But yeah, so we live in Africa. We did that. And then I went to an international school there, which was like the more like a public school for like about 2 years. I went with all my cousins. All my cousins went there.
Wow.
Because it was still like a big grade school, but it was just really, 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 really big. And we had these horrific like uniforms. It'd be like a tie-dye white and blue like button up, and like just the nastiest long skirts. Oh my gosh. And it was just,
they couldn't even get you fashionable shirt or skirts. It was like long, like...
everything was hand tailored, like because there's a bunch of tailors. So you just go buy the textile, and then you'd go and they give you the measurements and go, you need to have it up to here and have it like this. And then we'd go get our textiles and our stuff made. But I asked them, I said, please take me to this international school. I want to be a part of school. Like I felt like I only had a couple people at the private school, and they all bullied me. You know what I mean? Obviously I'm an Arab or whatever. They all bullied me. Like I grew up my whole entire life being bullied by them, by my brothers or whatever. So that was a really cool experience. I got to learn different foods that they sell in like the little cantinas. It's like little spam and like sandwiches, and you just eat that, and it's really weird. But then, yeah, we moved from there to Michigan.
Oh, wow. That's a big change.
Yeah, Michigan. And then ended up in Michigan, lived there for 12 years. That's where I met my wife.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did. I met her. She's from Battle Creek. I met her in Canton.
Wow.
And then I got outed, and it got really weird. And so I was working at this dive bar. I've been bartending for about 13, 14 years now. I was working at this dive bar, and like me and Em were going to go to Las Vegas to go to EDC, which is a carnival, like a music carnival. And this guy was like, hey, are you going to Las Vegas? There's a bar out there that I think you'd be great at. And I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, hook me up. And he started talking to the manager. So we go out there for this event, and I go in and I do my interview, and it's a dance interview. You got to get up on the bar, dance, do all these things. It's an entertainment bar. It's called Hogs and Heifers. And I got up there, I did my thing, and that's where my connection to bikes are because of that bar. They did their own rally, so it brought a lot of people in, and that's how like I got into that world. So we're up here. I get hired, and I'm like, heck yeah. So Em and I go back home. 3 months later, we pack all our animals, everything. We had like $2,000 to our name. We had to put down our deposit still, and we're like, let's go.
Living it up, man.
Let's go. We did it. We moved to Henderson. We lived there for a year, and then we lived in Vegas for 5 years.
Wow. How was that?
Las Vegas was so amazingly tragic, but at the same time, life-changing because we went down a really dark path while we were there. Vegas swallowed us whole. Like
I was going to ask if you like contributed to like the environment.
Absolutely, it did, because when we moved there, we were weak, and we got there, and all I wanted to do was fit in, and that was the first time that I did cocaine, and we only did it for 1 year out of our lives, but a lot was taken from us that year because we allowed it to leave our lives because we chose to be stupid instead. I almost overdosed once, and M did overdose once.
On
And
cocaine?
yeah,
Oh wow.
and we were idiots. We were doing acid and coke and all of these just stupid things. We were out drinking, doing 5-day bingers or whatever, and that lasted for like a whole year. And
That takes a toll too, like on your body and just energy, obviously.
yes,
But
it
yeah,
took, the first year was fine, and it was like the second year. 2018 is where was the worst year of our lives, and then we got clean. I got clean, and I pulled my wife out. I said, "Listen, I need you to get your shit together, because if you don't, I'm leaving and I'm taking the animals, because we need to get this together." So then we figured it out, and we got clean. And in 2019 was a great year. And then poof, conspiracy, conspiracy, conspiracy. Facts, facts, facts. Um, truth bombs. Went down the rabbit hole, had a massive spiritual awakening. My reality crumbled. I just was so appalled with everything happening. And I don't know what you want to talk about on this podcast, but there's a lot of outside things
talk
that,
about
like,
whatever.
you know, Pizzagate, MK Ultra, you know, like the Epstein files, more than that, the pedophiles, elites.
Was that when Pizzagate came out, like 19?
That's when I saw it. You know, the cabal, the fall of the cabal, like all of those videos, like that those are some things that really catalyzed my first part of that spiritual awakening. And as you know, that's one of the scariest parts. Like,
oh heck yeah,
when you're sitting there and you're like, everything's a lie, I don't know shit, who the fuck are we, what are we, what's reality, what's real, am I real, what's real, are we in a game, is this actually consciousness? I was so lost, and nobody was there yet.
That's the worst, when it hits you, and then there's like, you don't have anyone to tell you, hey, you're good, like it's whatever. I mean, because ultimately when that happened to me, I'm like trying to figure everything out, and then I was like, at some point I was like, I'm not going to ever figure anything out, and I'm just going to live and do my thing.
Yeah. But yeah, so we were working at this bar or whatever. Ben stayed at that bar, got clean, stayed clean behind the bar, did a great job, got offered to be a manager. M was already a manager. And I was going in. This is the first time that my guides were like, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, first time. I was texting my wife. I was like, all right, baby, I'm going to go sign the contract. I'm going to take this promotion. I've been working really hard for it. Like, I'm ready. You know, I'm sitting down there waiting to go in to talk to the owner of the bar, to tell her, yeah, I'm ready to take the spot. And I literally felt something pull my arm and go, no,
Wow.
you cannot do this. I was like, oh shit. So obviously I start to shiver. I'm like, fuck.
I know.
Now I have to, like,
you're so set on
yeah,
it.
now I have to quit. Like, everything changed. You know, so I texted my wife and I go, hey, I'm putting in my 2 weeks. And she was like, wait, what? And I go, I'll call you later. Went inside, talked to the owner of the bar, declined it, said, no, thank you. I'm putting in my 2 weeks. And at that time, I don't think she understood. Like, I didn't know why. It just happened.
Was that the first time you had that kind of experience?
Yes. Like, wow. truly pulling me. Like, no. I've had it a couple times since then, but that was the first time. Like, true divine interference. And so I said no. And then Em and I moved to Ohio because, well, let me go back to 2020. Being in Vegas during the apocalypse was the most weary feeling ever.
Was it empty down there?
Completely empty.
Man, that would be wild.
Our friends and I were riding our bicycles down like the Las Vegas Strip, like dead. And it was like, at that moment in my spiritual awakening, I'm like, holy shit, I live in an amusement park. Like, none of this is fucking real. I'm like, oh my God. Like, It was so much because everything around me wasn't real. And I looked around me and I was like, oh my God, literally everything in front of me is like not real, you know? So in that time, I was like, we need to get the hell out of Vegas. We need to go find ourselves again. We need to go connect to farmland, you know? And there was these guys that used to come out to Vegas and see me. Two of my soul brothers, one of them is Jason, the other one's Dave. They live here. And so in 2019, we would get on phone calls all the time and talk about conspiracy theories. And we just connected so much. So that when we moved here to get close to them.
That's cool.
Yeah. And
you know what I think's the coolest part about that is like just that the universe planted them in your life so you would like so everything that happened would happen the exact way that it is. It's just like so cool because most likely they are part of your soul tribe and this was already orchestrated for them to meet you and bring you on over here to Ohio for the rest to happen. And
100%. And that's it. The craziest part about that is, so Jason's mother, her name is Teresa. I love you. She came to me last night, actually. Just saying hi. And I went out with Jason. So she came down and said hi to me and was like, thank you for, and I just heard her and it was really, really cool. But
that's awesome.
She connected with me a couple months before I started wanting to move from Vegas. So we were talking a lot. She would talk to me about Christ consciousness and like help me through my spiritual awakening. And her and I almost felt as if we were like kindred spirits in a way, you know what I mean? So she was in the process of adopting me.
Oh, wow.
Like actually bringing me into their family, you know? And on my birthday, we were still in Vegas, and it was the day after I quit my job. Literally a day after. They're like, no, it was the day before my birthday, which there's always a renewal on my birthday. And we were in Utah. Em and I were in Utah trying to, you know, enjoy the scenery, whatever. And we woke up and we were like, let's go home. Like, it's just raining. Like, let's just go home. And when I got service on my birthday, I get a text from Teresa, my mom, saying happy birthday. I get a text from my brother Jason saying happy birthday and a bunch of other people. And then I get another text from Jason going, hey, I don't want to ruin your time, but can you call me? So I call him. He goes, hey, Ma just died from a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
Like, she's just gone. They tried everything. So she like died on my birthday.
Yeah.
And we always thought that we were like kindred spirits and stuff like that. And so in that time, it was right after I quit my job, right when she passed. And in my head, I go, oh my God, I have a soul brother who just lost a mom, who has a sick dad, and who just has a brand new baby and 2 kids. I was like, we're going to Ohio. And it was like a complete whoop, whoop. And we made it here. And I met many soul family here when it comes down to more people like us, like in the bars. But truly coming here was for me to go into the second phase of the spiritual awakening. And that was to get away from the distractions, get away from the noise, get away from the toxicity, and find a way to be zen within myself, because it is all within ourselves, right? But we can't go inward if we're not able to go inward. You know what I mean? If there's too many distractions going on, you're like, oh, this. You can't truly go. But once you've been there, it's like, you can't imagine not being able to get there. So you're going to be able to go within once you've met yourself there. You know what I mean? And so when I was in Ohio, me and my wife flew out somebody to do some Kambo for us, and also flew out somebody to do Bufo for us.
What's Bufo?
Bufo is a 5-MeO DMT. It is toad venom. Me and the venoms. And I'm also working on becoming a facilitator on that right now. I'm in a course this year. I'll be working in Mexico a lot to work closely with the toads, and my mentor is really amazing. Her name is Kate. She is well known in the industry, and I'm so grateful to be working alongside with her and learning from her.
Does your Kambo, like, you know, if you go to college and you have some courses under your belt, you don't have to do like as much as your Kambo, like, play into that at all?
Well, I am an advanced Kambo practitioner. I've taken it to there is a master level as well, but I am an advanced. But that only gives me experience with that plant medicine. Each spirit is different, right? And each one goes with your body different. There's different things. Like Kambo, let's put it this way: Bufo was much safer than Kambo. Kambo is a safe medicine. But at the end of the day, you're sitting there purging, and your heart is racing. You are ingesting a venom through your body. You know, it's a little bit different than smoking the venom and having a psychedelic experience, you know.
Okay. That's really cool.
Yeah. So we did the Kambo, we did the Bufo, and the Bufo, I was so angry before that, like that ceremony, just at life, right? From 2019, all the trauma, all the bullshit I've been in my life, all why me, why me, why me? What the fuck? What the hell am I doing here? Pissed. Pissed at them raping kids, pissed at them having breeders just to have children in order to breed them and sacrifice them, pissed at the world. Sit with this medicine, okay? And my life changed.
Wow.
This was right before I met you.
Was it really?
Yeah, this was right before I met you. Maybe a couple months before, like when I was doing research to try to get into your class. So the medicine is administered to you through a pipe, okay? You work with this medicine, you smoke it, and you hold on to it for about 8 seconds. And then you release it, and you lay your head back, and you have an out-of-body experience. For most people. Of course, if you're not ready to have that experience, you're not going to get there if you're not willing to open up and meet yourself there, right? If you can't surrender, that's your ego, you know. Yeah. But this medicine is actually meant and called and known for its ego death, complete dissolution of the ego.
Wow.
And for me, this medicine, I've done many other DMTs before, but never had a blast off, as they say, where you make it to the destination, wherever it is that you're trying to go. I've always been stuck in, there's like a tube. And I hear a lot of people talking about the tube, but for me, it's like a metal tube. And I'm just going through it and then seeing all this shit, and then I break through. So during this experience, I'm going through and they're showing me all the wars. They're showing me why I was there. You know,
the wars when you were in Lebanon?
Yes. They were showing me the pain and how and letting the pain hug me. It was so like why I was born into this family, so many things. And then all of a sudden I break through and everything is white. And I look down and my body is turning into pixelated sand, rainbow sand, into like a million particles. And I'm just looking at myself up there as a rainbow sand.
Oh, wow.
And for the first time ever, I had felt like I was connected to everything, but I was also nothing. And
it's an amazing feeling.
I have this session videoed, taped on my phone, really? And I start rolling around. I'm just rolling around and just eating up this feeling of just, this is it. Yeah. This is creation. This is love.
That's amazing.
And it changed my life. So after that experience, I took a couple months and did a lot of things right. Apologized to a lot of people. Took accountability of a lot of things I've done. Understood why they happened and tried to process all of that. And then I knew that I was supposed to work with the medicine. Like I already knew I was supposed to work with the medicine when I got out of that experience. I go, oh, I'm supposed to serve this. I'm supposed to serve Kambo. I already know. It's been shown to me.
How long does that experience last?
Anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. And it just, and I was like, okay, I need to go start with energy healing. And that's when I found you. Wow. And we started talking. And I was doing this course to be able to have some kind of healing modality under my belt before I tried to go into Kambo, because I was very unexperienced in all of this. I've only been in the plant medicine world, healing world for about 1.5 years. Yeah. You know what I mean? So all of this is brand new, but it's like when I do it, it's like, oh, it just fucking makes sense. Right. It's like I've lived so many lives that I've been doing this that this is why everything else didn't fucking make sense.
Yes.
This is why everything I've tried in my life was not aligned for me. It's because I meant to do this.
It's like putting that missing puzzle piece in, and then it's like, there we go.
Yes.
Do you do Reiki when you do Kambo at all? Like, do you see yourself using it?
So, funny story that you bring that up. For the first time ever, a couple, like 2 months ago maybe, I had done a full healing session, which came with Kambo
Mm.
and then energy healing after. And it was like we did the Kambo to let go of all the trauma and release all that stuff. And as she was still wide open, I laid her on the couch and I on the bed, and I closed all of those portals and infused them with, like, you know, divine energy, and realigned her with the higher vibration of herself, which was really cool. And then the ceremony I had after that one, I was called to work with healing and light language during the ceremony. And it's very situational because I like to work with the spirit itself because you want to give respect to it. But I feel like where I am as a person right now in balance of my life, I feel like that they've gifted me the opportunity to work in balance with them. You know, as long as I can respect each spirit, I feel like they allow me to work with them cohesively because I've mastered being balanced and not letting outside energies affect me. You know what I mean? So one of my clients was having some pain in his stomach while he was going through his purge, and Em was sitting there because I always have her with me usually during the ceremony, and she's watching over him. And at this time, I was just called to send energy healing into his body and the light language frequency or whatever it was doing and stuff like that. And you can just see him completely, like, the pain dissipate. And he was in the middle of purging and in this experience, and he goes, "Do you have healing hands?" And I go, "I do." Yeah, we all do. But yeah. And it was just really beautiful. So yeah, naturally it is coming in, and I'm allowing it to flow as it wants to, because getting here, getting exactly to the seat has allowed me to be here because I flowed. So it's like I just let things do what they do.
Yeah. One question, when you say the spirit of the medicine, is that like the spirit of the frog, or what spirit is the spirit of the medicine?
Absolutely. So in the essence of Kambo, the frog, it would be absolutely the spirit of the frog. Okay. We do a prayer to the frog, thanking it for being in ceremony, because it goes through its own ceremony for us to say in our ceremony. When I talk about Bufo, yes, I'm talking about the essence of Bufo and its spirit, right? Gotcha. If I'm talking about ayahuasca, I'm talking about the divine grandmother. She's a spirit. She's divine. If I'm talking about, San Pedro, he's a grandfather spirit. If I'm talking about weed, I'm talking about a young spirit. If I'm talking about psilocybin, it's also a young spirit. Do you see the different levels? It's like, if you want to get enlightened, you can smoke a little weed, eat a little bit of mushrooms. If you want some deep fucking wisdom, you're going to be talking to grandfather, grandmother spirits. And there are multiple different ones, right? There's different types of grandmother spirits, grandfather spirits. Same on this realm as well. But that's what I mean. Like, but you are talking to the spirit of ayahuasca, the spirit of tepesquite, the spirit of mapacho. So mapacho is a sacred tobacco, right? Although it doesn't give you any psychedelic effects, this still has a spirit. It's a spirit of a cleanser, of a protector. It is a grandfather spirit. It's a wise spirit. It's been here for a very long time on earth. It's here to cleanse the energy for us and make sure we're protected as we're doing this divine work.
Is that the smoke that you use during your session?
Yes. Oh, okay. Yes. So there's certain tobaccos that are grandfather spirits. It's that connection, right? How we were talking about the lady in Peru and how she can connect to the land. This is how, because you do everything with intention. You hold the plant. You put it on your head. You thank it. You hold it. You connect with it. You know, like, you truly infuse your energy with these plants, with the land. And that's why, like, I low-key see myself living in, like, Africa or somewhere, because I want to be able to do that. So what the fuck am I gonna? I'm gonna go attach myself to a dandelion out here? Like, right, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna go hold, like, this tree that's, I don't know. It's I rent a house. It's not my tree. Like, even though it is, like, nature and stuff, it's like there's wires, and I don't want to connect myself to that energy. It's like.
Well, I think you'll end up somewhere exactly where you need to be, obviously. But,
obviously.
I mean, I think I agree with that statement of yours. And as you were talking about, like, holding the plant and just bonding with it, I got such a feel good feeling, just like, I don't know, thinking about like that bond between the plant and stuff. Because like for me, I have went out and bonded with nature so strongly at different times, but it wasn't like a specific plant, but it was like the plants and the trees, and just like I've been led several times to bring healing down to the land and just spread it out throughout wherever I'm at. And it's been some of the most incredible experiences that I've had, just feeling that bond from nature and just feeling the energy from it. And I don't know. So when we talk about like connecting to a plant, a specific plant, and just listening and to the spirit and all that, it's just, I don't know, it feels really good.
Yeah, speaking of like connecting to the plants, when we were in Peru, we were able to go pick the ayahuasca vine
Mm.
and pick the chacruna leaves and be able to actually brew our own medicine. And we were like, so the ayahuasca comes as a big vine, and you have to like break it to open it up in order to boil it with the chacruna leaves, which actually carry the DMT. The ayahuasca vine is the wisdom. The chacruna leaf is the DMT. You put it together, you brew it, and you put some mapacho in it as well, and then that's how you get ayahuasca.
Wow.
Together they come and they give you all this wisdom, right? But the connection, like I'll have to send you these pictures, remind me.
I will.
There's a picture of me holding the vine. It's like this thick, and it's connected, doing all of these things. And we're doing it, and we're putting our intention into the vine, and we're giving it love, and then we're pulling it down, and we got to cut it and take our own vine. And then the small pieces that came off of that vine, we got to go replant into the earth. That way it can create journeys for other people that are coming to that land. So we got to do all of it sitting, and that taught me the true connection and how influential and how important intention is for everything that you work with, and humility and true honesty when it comes down to working with plant medicine, because they will look right fucking through you and they will blast you to hell if that's like, if you're coming in with the ego, you know what I mean? Yeah. But being able to do that, creating the medicine with the maestra, there's a picture of me, a video of me hitting the ayahuasca, and the maestra is sitting right next to me, and she's hitting the ayahuasca, and she's singing these icaros, which are infusing the ayahuasca with her energy. And I remember just like hitting it. I'm like, holy fuck, I can't believe I'm here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, yeah.
I can't even imagine.
So it was so amazing. So then I always had like, weird anxiety about, plant medicine. I'm like, oh my God, this is about to be like a hell of a journey, like whatever. Mm-hmm. But working with ayahuasca, because I connected with it so much, and I was writing to her months before I came and saw her, I was talking to her, we were connecting, she was coming to me in my dreams. And the first night, she showed me a sky. It was all black. And then every time I looked up, there was one that was shining really, really bright. And she said, that's you. Oh. And she showed me that I was one of the stars. And in that first one, all she was showing me is just love. Like, I was having the most giggly, funny experience because I was just laughing at the little things. Like, she would show me comments made on like Facebook, and she would like send like, she'd remove them for me. Like in my head, I'd be seeing like comments on Facebook, people talking shit about me, and she would just like delete, 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 and she'd just show me them leaving. And then the second journey, she kept on bringing me back to the present moment. So she literally kept on like taking my hands and bringing them like this. And obviously she's not physically doing it, but she's like showing me and guiding me to bring my hands to center. And I remember during that ceremony, my body was like jolting, like almost like I was having like an exorcism or something like that. My body was jolting and I was shaking, and the maestro was like wiping shit on my head and stuff like that. But then after that, she just kept on bringing me like right here, and I've never felt so much peace. And then she showed me like, she kept on moving my hands out like this and showing me how things just unfold. It'll be there. It'll be there. It's going to be there. Don't worry. And ever since then, things have just
And that
been
was
there.
during your journey through
Yeah,
ayahuasca.
and this was this
That's
past year in August. Yeah.
awesome.
And that was really, really amazing with ayahuasca. And I would like to sit with it again, but it was just that being able to be connected in that way taught me how to be connected.
Mm-hmm.
And if I were to go to an ayahuasca place to sit with ayahuasca, I wouldn't be doing that. I wouldn't be brewing the medicine. I'd be sitting down and receiving the medicine. So I have no actual intention, but idea what intention was put into that medicine. You know,
That's true, because you got to see where the intention was placed and stuff. So
right?
that's
How pure is it? How, like, if I'm doing it, I want to do it right.
yeah.
You know, and that's how I feel for everything. That's why I'm taking the time to do the right courses. That's why I'm taking the time to go to Peru. I'm going to Mexico. I'm going to learn to work with these medicines because I feel I need to be able to hold tradition. Because a lot of people, there's a lot of cowboys out here in our industry, in our world. There's a lot of people that act like they know what the hell they're doing, but they don't fucking know shit.
And that's a scary thing with plant medicine or any kind of like thing that is affecting your physical body and stuff. I mean, energy, we don't want anybody messing around, but I feel like it is going to work itself out the way that it's supposed to. But like when we look at the physical stuff, I mean, yeah. And that's what I've always loved about you is you took it serious and like studied and was like, I'm going to make sure that I'm like doing this to the best of my ability instead of just like, we'll do it, we'll wing it and see what happens. And I don't know. I think it's cool. I have a ton of I've never done any of it, and I have a ton of anxiety towards doing anything that makes me lose control of my body, like even with weed back in the day. And I'll still smoke weed every once in a while, but back in the day when I used to smoke all the time, every single time I would feel like I am uh, like I didn't want to smoke too much because I didn't want to feel that like out of body kind of experience or like the spirit experience where like your body kind of feels numb or like it's not yours. That's how I used to feel, and I just I don't know. I have a lot of anxiety towards that. So when anybody's like, "I'm gonna go do ayahuasca," I'm like, "It sounds so amazing," but I don't know. I have that. What would you say to someone that has that?
I would say you can start off slow. There's other things that you can do and experience things in your body. But I will bring something up to you. If you were to be sitting with ayahuasca, okay, which I don't think is a bad one to start with, to be completely honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's intense, but you might as well just go in. It's going to be the same
Right.
thing, you know, as taking a bunch of psilocybin. You know what I mean? Except that's a hallucinogen. But
Mm-hmm.
like with the DMT and with ayahuasca, if you do it in the dark, it's just as if you're dreaming
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
because you're not going to know what's real and what's not.
Mm-hmm.
And if you just lay down and know that you're going to wake up back in your body, then what does it matter? Because
Mm-hmm.
I think what you're dealing with is the dissolution between the realities. You're like, I'm not. I know that's real, and I don't want to get stuck there. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
almost
Yeah.
like you're like, I'm so connected there. Like, what if I step into that realm and I can't make it back here? I have a family I have to take care of, you know, like,
Mm-hmm.
or a possible break of psychosis or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that could be something that you're dealing with subconsciously, you know. But if you're working with ayahuasca and you do it in the dark, it's like that would be my suggestion. If
Yeah.
you were like, hey, I'm scared, but I'd be like, just rip off the band-aid, go in there. Because it's not that long. It's like 6 to 8 hours. Like, you know what I mean? That's honestly not that long of sleep because you're taking the medicine at night. So you're taking it at like 7. So
Mm-hmm.
you go through your journey till, you know, 12, 2 o'clock in the morning. And then you wake up and it's sun time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's
Yeah.
bright outside. Of course, you're going to have a little bit of a purge if you are, but it's not anything like intense. But my next suggestion would be if you were to sit with something like Kambo, because if you sat with Kambo that has 0 psychoactive properties, and
Mm-hmm.
you can go through a purge and be in your physical body and see what your body can do, and being able to breathe through it, if you can learn to ground yourself in that and stand in your dignity line while purging on Kambo, you'll be able to sit with any plant medicine. But it's
Yeah.
all about your breath.
Breath work, just breath work in general is
Yeah, it's
amazing, but being able to connect to that.
all about your breath, because if you can take enough breaths and just to release, to let go, the experience is going to take you where you need to go. But
Mm-hmm.
the beautiful thing about psychedelic plant medicine, like bufo and ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is a little bit different because it's a little purging, but like bufo and stuff like that, is your body's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Your body is going to be fine. It's not doing anything crazy to your body.
Yeah.
You're going to wake up and you're going to be like, oh shit.
Right.
And then have a whole bunch of things you got to like, figure out, but not then, because plant medicine is like this thing where it's like a lotion bottle. It's like God goes, here's a lotion bottle. I'll put on a little bit at a time, and then absorb a little bit of your experience as you go throughout your life, because there's going to be moments that you're going to take from this experience a year down the line, 6 months down the line. You're like, oh, that's why they showed me that.
Yeah.
You're not going to understand it all, and don't even fucking try.
I know. Well, and so a couple things to that. I agree with what you're saying as far as like the like being afraid to get stuck in another reality or things like that. And then also like with Kambo or something like that, I often think about like, so for example, back in the day, growing up, my friends would like take pills, or they would do cocaine or something like that, and I would never do it because I was afraid that it would like hurt my body or hurt me or something along those lines. And I feel that same kind of way when it comes to like Kambo or something like that. Obviously, you've done it tons of times, and it's completely safe, and it's good. Obviously things can happen or whatever, but that's something also that kind of sticks in the back of my mind, is like I'm afraid that it's going to cause me to have a heart attack or just something like that. But I think that it's been proven time and time again that it is incredibly safe as long as it's administered properly and everything's done the correct way. And the tribes and people have done it for years and years and years and been perfectly fine. And it's helped.
They serve
done
it to
nothing but help.
children.
Do they really? Wow.
Not here. It's not legally. You can't.
Right.
You can't. Don't serve kids.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Please don't. They have to be 18 or up. But they do serve them to children, and it helps them
Wow.
with, if they get bit by a spider or something, to keep them healthy. And sometimes when they're about to go hunting, they will serve them. That way their senses are heightened, because it clears your eyesight. It opens up your hearing, opens up your smelling. It removes all the odor off of your body, so you become invisible.
Yeah.
And then they'll do that. They'll sit with Kambo before they fight, before they hunt, and then they'll do Nunu, which is rape, but it's for the Matses tribe, which is where I learned and got served from. But then they do Nunu, which is a snuff, a tobacco snuff, which is mapacho and cacao leaves, I think. And they burn that and they grind it up and they sniff it. And then it opens up your visions to where the animal may be. And it allows you, it gives you that vision. Now you've got this like laser focus hunting ability, and you go off.
I can see that, like just kind of like shedding all the unneeded, like anything that's around you, so you can just like see and feel and be clear.
But the beautiful thing about Kambo, and if you were to say, hey, I want to sit with Kambo and I'm scared because of everything that you just said, I would say, I understand that. Do you have any heart issues?
No, not that I know of. Yeah.
So you play jujitsu? Okay, and your heart gets a little fast?
Yeah,
okay.
Very fast.
So that's what Kambo would do. If when the medicine is administered to you and it goes into your third subcutaneous layer of your skin through a burn mark, then it goes in and it flows through your whole entire bloodstream. And now your body is like, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, I think I just got venom in me, right?
Yeah.
So your heart, it circulates around your heart. So then it goes from anywhere from 60 beats to 160 for about a minute and a half. Because what happens is it goes around your heart and then it goes up and it goes into your brain. And because it has the capacity to cross the brain-blood barrier, which is unlike a lot of medicines that don't do that, the DMT and this are a couple ones that can cross the blood-brain barrier. So then your mind goes, oh, this is actually going to help me. And the intention that you set is over here in the body. Now it's connecting, because this medicine that's in you right now was mixed with your saliva. So it understands your DNA structure. So then, so once it goes across your brain blood barrier, your blood pressure will drop. It'll go, and then that's when you start to sweat, right? So your heart goes up, your blood pressure goes up, and now you're starting to sweat. And then you're going to start purging. And some people don't purge, okay? But it is an energetic healing as well. And it goes to places in your body. Just because you don't purge or get anything out does not mean you're not getting healing, because it's taking care of all the inflammation, all that pain. It has peptides in there that are 40,000 times more potent than morphine, with zero addictive properties. This medicine is so good with people who have physical pain. You know what I mean? It stops the growth of tumors. There's a lot of things there that it's beneficial for. But the pain of, like, your heart, the heart racing, is very short and minimal. And once you're in the medicine, because you drink about 2 liters of water prior, what becomes like a purging feeling, a puking feeling that you would think normally, it's not like that. You literally open your mouth and it just kind of like comes right out.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And you feel so good. Like, you can look at it and see everything that's going inside the bucket. And although it is a very strenuous 20 minutes, the amount of trauma. How old are you?
37, I think.
Okay, so you're 37 years old. Okay, you've had 37 years of
36 or 37.
physical trauma in your body, physically built up in your body. And now you work with this Kambo for 20 minutes, and it's able to flush all of that out, which is 20 minutes versus 37 years.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's why Kambo is so beautiful and so powerful for transformation and for healing, is because it's nothing to do with up here, because you're with yourself. You know, you're in it. You're the one that's doing this work, not just like your mind off doing its own thing. Your physical body is doing this work, and it has a way of bringing you back to really understanding how powerful this physical body is.
Right.
And it puts you in a perfect pH level for your body to heal itself. So people don't sit with Kambo and because they're sick. People should sit with Kambo to prevent themselves from getting sick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just knock on wood right now, because I feel that for me. The fact that I sit with the medicine so much, or I sit with it before then, at least once a year, it helps boost your immune system.
Yeah. Well, and I have 2 questions really quick. So the first one is, you said that it is it's mixed with their saliva. So questions with that is, first, do they like spit and then you put the frog stuff or the frog medicine in there and then you start mixing it? And then second, if it wasn't mixed with their saliva, do you know what would happen within the body then?
Yeah, sure. So it comes dried up on a stick, okay, because the venom is extracted off of the frog. They kind of like put the frog in like this a hold, and they'll squeeze its toes, and then they'll scrape the venom off and put it on a stick, and they'll let that dry, and that's how we get our medicine. So when we mix it with their saliva, we do that, and I was taught to do that way it connects with you, right? It learns your DNA and stuff. So, and that's how the Matses and the tribes do it. So I make them spit in a bowl, and I'll take their spit and I'll put it over wherever I marked for their medicine, and I'll just kind of start scraping it. It'll soak, and then it'll turn into like a paste. So it goes from being flaky, and then you add like the saliva, it gets a little pasty, and then you like mix it to get the peptides activated and stuff like that. And then you apply it on the burns.
I just think that's really amazing. Like a great thought process of just like the saliva mixed with it, and then your body recognizing that. I just love that.
Absolutely.
Really cool.
And then on the contrary of that, during COVID, they were doing it with water because people got weird about it.
Yeah,
but I can't tell you any facts about how that would work. But I would never use water. There is another path that you can take as well, is if you serve that person once, twice, or whatever, and you hold this wisdom within yourself, and you want to gift them with your energy, with whatever your whole, you know what I mean? If I say I wanted to serve you and you were like, hey, I'm really having a problem being confident, and I go, I got a lot of that, let me help you.
Yeah.
I can then send that intention into the saliva.
Okay.
And mix it, and then gift you.
That's awesome.
My energy.
That's really cool. I love that. Second question is, for someone with like inflammation or something like that, how often would they need to take the medicine or go through the process to help with the inflammation.
Yeah, sure. Speaking about inflammation is very similar to Lyme disease because that's what it does. It inflames your body and your nervous system. So it's kind of close to the protocol that you wanted to touch on,
Oh yeah, I
anyways.
forgot all about that.
So the way that I would suggest doing it is if I would do a three sessions in one moon cycle, which is called an inoculation. And that's the most that you can get out of the medicine. That's going to help you get your body to where it needs to be, cleaning out everything, you know? And then after that, I would say once a year, maybe every 6 months. And it doesn't have to be 3.
Yeah.
It can just be, you know, a couple dots, 1 dot. Of course, our dots are ginormous.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll see online they use like an incense, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, you know, but yeah, these are big ones. But you would just go like once a year, twice a year, maybe, and or anytime that you're starting to feel stiff, you're like, oh man, depending on how the severity. But for me, it was great once a year, and now I'd probably sit with it as a practitioner. I would sit with it maybe every 3 months.
Wow.
Like to really be in tip-top shape.
And if you look at like versus having to take like anti-inflammatory medicines or steroids even, or just anything like that, if you can use this to supplement it, and even if it doesn't take it all the way away, you could probably get to where you're not taking as much medicine or whatever. But like, I just think that it's a great alternative.
Yeah, and this medicine has helped with people get off antidepressants, anxiety medicines, different medicines for the body. Like it's beyond. I cannot talk enough about it. Yeah. You know, it completely cleanses you, cleans you from head to toe, gives you years back of your life. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like when it comes down to the stress, when it comes down to the inflammation, when it comes down to cleaning. So what are you doing every single day in your life when you're like, I want to eat healthy, I want to train, I want to eat the supplement. So what are you trying to do? Get your body to the best physical state it could be? Cool. Kambo gets you there.
Mm-hmm. It's a good way to look at it. I was going to ask a question, and I forgot what it was about. I was just going to make a comment actually. And this is going back a little bit, and then we can change subjects for the remaining time that we have or whatever. But I know some people that's went and did ayahuasca, and they were like, it was the most incredible experience I've ever had. And then I know others that were like, honestly, I didn't really have much happen. But I believe you spoke to that of saying like, if your ego is not ready to get out of the way, then you're not going to have that experience. One of the very first people that I ever met that went to Peru and did ayahuasca, he came back. He was like, man, I went like out of body, and then I saw like these, I don't know I can't remember the exacts, but it was like alien type beings or something. And they showed him like a bunch of stuff that happened when he was a child. And then also like he had this big kind of like your moment when you were like turning into the rainbow, like just a big moment of clarity. But then he came back and he's like, I'm gay now. Like I realize I'm not a straight man. Like I realize that I need to honor those feelings that I have, you know, that kind of stuff. And his whole just outlook on life changed, but it also created some confusion because he had that like wide open experience. And then now he's back in like his regular world or whatever. He was like, but now I'm searching for like, who actually am I? And it started this like journey for him to like, I don't know, start finding himself. I saw him not that long ago, and seemed like he was doing really well. And I actually saw him, he was doing some readings or something at the Body, Mind, Spirit Festival, which was like not typically what he would do. So I was like, dude, this is awesome. Like, I'm super happy to see you. But then the other person was like, I went there and I shit my pants, and that was about it. I didn't really have much else that happened, while their husband was like, I was journeying everywhere. So I think, like you said, if you're in the right mind state and you are in a place where you're ready to let go of ego and stuff like that, I think that it can be an amazing experience. And then on the flip side of that, I know a lot of people that do microdosing and stuff, and I know you're not taking some big journey, but they're saying
love microdosing.
I've never done that either, but they're like, you should just try it because it's just like, an amazing experience. You're not like laying in the bed, going to outer space, but you are like everything's more vibrant and you have more clarity and things come up. So a lady was telling me one time that she had this experience when she was meditating while microdosing, and she went to this parking lot and her old car was sitting there, and then she was like, what the hell? And then she looked in it and it was her in her old car sitting there. And I don't remember the exacts of it, but there was this revelation that happened. And then when she came back, she got thinking, she was like, I remember sitting in that car and feeling like someone was watching me. And I like, even so that they like, I forget what they did, but like maybe turned the headlights on or did something to like look around, because they felt like someone was really there staring at them. And then under this microdosing meditation experience, she was there looking at herself. So it's like, did she from the future come back and look at herself? And that story just amazed me.
I have two comments. One about the higher self, other self, because I had an experience like that before, which I think about all the time because that shit messes with my psyche all the time. But when it comes down to your friend that said he shit himself, okay, let me explain something else that's very important in plant medicine. It's something called your dieta. Okay, a dieta is how you prepare to sit with the medicine, how seriously you're taking the food that you're putting in your body. If you're to sit with ayahuasca, the ayahuasca diet is very intensive. You can't have any salt, any sugar, any certain grains, certain vegetables. You can't have oil. You can't have any seasonings. Like you can't have any of these things. So you have to think about, you're in this dieta for 14 days prior, during the ceremonies, and 14 days past, or 7 days past, I think, something like that. So you're in this diet for about a month, and everything tastes the same. There is no satisfaction for food, right? So
as you're eating more for function than pleasure, basically.
100%. Yeah. There's certain breads that you can't have. Like it's very, 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 very strict. You're eating pretty much broth and boiled chicken and boiled vegetables for a month. And so if you're in this mindset and you're preparing to sit with this medicine, number one, are you taking your dieta seriously? Number two, are you in gratitude when you're doing this dieta? Are you giving respect to the medicine, going, thank you for this food, or fuck this tastes like shit? Already coming in and going like this to the spirit of ayahuasca. It's all in the prep. It's all in the intention. It's all in the integration.
That's a great way to look at it.
So important. It's like the plot twist of a movie, okay? Everything that comes in the prep and the integration is all the movie, but the medicine is the fucking plot twist. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, you think, oh yeah, this is exactly, and then it's like, oh shit. It's like, oh, okay, good ending. Right. Like, it's literally like a movie plot twist. But you have to have respect for that medicine. So it's like, was he ready for his ego, right? Was he ready to experience more? Was he doing the right steps for the medicine? Was he feeling tapped into the spirit of ayahuasca? And was ayahuasca like, you know what? Fuck you.
Yeah.
Because I told you earlier, if you're not ready to sit with the medicine, it's gonna put you right, boom, it's gonna put you on your ass. You know, it's either gonna give you a very intense, very, very intense, very dark, or you're gonna get shut out.
Yeah.
You know? And then that story that you were saying about your friend, this was right before I moved to Vegas. I was in Michigan. I was working at the cigar bar, and it was in like a little parking lot, and there's a bunch of bars right there or whatever. And I worked at all three of them. I've worked at all three of them before. And so I was at that bar, and one day it was dead in the bar. There was like literally nobody there. And in walks this lady, and I don't remember exactly what her face looks because it's so blurred to me, but she was just like cool hair, really just like kind of like, I feel like what I'm turning into, right? Now that it's been 12 years since that experience. She came in, she ordered a hookah, and she ordered it exactly the way I smoke my hookahs, which is an orange head, white grape, and 2 charcoals. And I'm talking, nobody orders this kind of flavors. It was very like unique. And then I never asked her for her name. Never. We sat down and she started talking to me about what I wanted to do in my life. And I was telling her all these things, and she goes, you need to quiet your mind. She goes, "You're thinking too much. You got to zone in." And I was just like, "No, I want to own a bar in Vegas. It's gonna be like a speakeasy, but it's gonna be this." And
That's
she's like, she's like, she's like, "You need to just put it all. You're very excited," is what she said. She goes, "You're very, very excited." And she was right. I was excited and confused and young and stupid and all this shit. And that's really all I remember was how calm she was, how specific she was. And then she paid her tab, she left, and I asked the owner of the owner of the bar, I go, "Do you know what that girl's name is?" And he goes, "Yeah, that's Suzi. Everybody knows who she is."
Oh, wow.
And I had lived there for 12 years, never seen her, never knew who she
It's
was.
almost like a slip in time or something, like you're moving into another timeline for a
Yes,
second
I have
there.
chosen my body just thinking about it. I think about that time so much. I was like, oh my God, that was me going, the fuck is wrong with you? Slow the
Yeah.
fuck down.
But
You
like,
know?
and that's like in that moment, yeah, she's speaking to you, but like she's really speaking to like you, like your soul, like your
Yes.
and it's like that was embedded in there and probably played a big role. Like that was you probably intervening in your life to like say, hey, you're not going to own the bar and keep doing that, whatever. But I think
And
that's
ever since that
amazing.
experience, actually, I just didn't want to own a bar. I've
Yeah.
worked in a lot. Like I don't want to own one. The only way I would ever own a bar is if all the people that I work rallies with, if we can get like a team of five of us to come together and own a bar and turn it into the coolest fucking bar ever.
Yeah.
You know, and all of us can like travel and still take care of it and have like the same duties. I would be interested in doing that.
But I think now you're in a mind state where you could slow down and think it through rather than like if you did it before, it would be like, wow, like your energy would be going really fast and excited towards it. I think now you'd be able to find it in yourself to slow down and make sure that it's all going to work and that it is the way it is.
I think if I were to ever open anything, it'd be like small plates and like really cool mocktails and like maybe a couple cocktails for people that want it or like wine only, like a wine bar with mocktails and small plates. Oh, that'd be right up my alley.
That'd be awesome.
I feel like, and if it's legal still around for us to smoke some bud.
Yeah, well, I think that would be really cool. I mean, to be able to, I don't know if you would want to have like a smoking section for the people that don't like smelling weed or something, but like, I mean, to be able to go out and just like pass a joint around or a blunt or a bowl or whatever while you drink some beer and watch football or talk or live music or whatever the heck it is. And I think that would be really cool. And kind of just going into that. So we've talked about all kinds of like plant medicine and psychedelic stuff, all that kind of stuff. And you have this completely other side to yourself.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, and I don't know how different it is, but like, I remember you told me when we first met, like, yeah, I do some bartending, I do rallies. I had no clue. And then became friends with you on Facebook. And then, like, the next thing I know, you're like naked, not naked, half naked, standing on a bar, spitting drinks into someone's face and slapping them or whatever. And I'm like, hold on, what the fuck? I was like, this is, like, I thought she was just a bartender. I didn't know she did all this. But, like, at the same time as that, I'm like, fuck yeah, for you, like living your life and just doing whatever the hell you want to do. Because also those rallies, I can tell that you really look forward to them and you have a good time doing them. And from what I understand, the pay is pretty well as well. And it's just a good time. And like, I can't imagine the atmosphere, and I'm sure there's some negative, but like, it just seems like a really good time. Would you like to speak to that at all?
Oh, it's exhilarating. You know, I get to do it with my wife. I get to do it with a lot of my really
Does she bartend or does she just come in and hang out?
She bar backs.
What's
so
that?
Bar backs, like making sure we have stocking all our beer, making sure like we're good, taking care of the bartenders.
So do you both like come as a package deal typically?
No, but we have worked at a lot of the same. We work at all the same bars right now. She just got into another event, which I'm really proud of her. She'll be in Arizona. She's going to be doing that one. I'm not sure if I'll be there yet. I'm not on the list yet, but who knows? Things might change. But it's really amazing. It's exhilarating. It's just it's sometimes you just never know what the fuck is going to happen at a rally, you know, and it's really cool to just drop the shit and go have a good time. The thing I like about event bartending, and especially event bartending like rallies, is people don't give a shit. They just want to have a good time. That's where they go to let loose because their hometown sucks. You know what I mean? That's where they go to let their freak flag fly. And I love that because I'm also, not like a sexual freak, but like I'm a freak. I like all types of things. I don't want to be tapped into the normal societal standards. So it's really cool that I get to travel and meet people that are escaping societal standards to have a good fucking time.
Yes.
And it's really beautiful because I get to see so many people that I love from all over. Like at different events, I look forward to seeing certain groups of people because now we've built a rapport.
Mm-hmm.
And those are like my Sturgis people. Those are like my Laconia people. Those are like my Myrtle Beach people. And I have a couple that go to all of them, and I get to see them at all these events multiple times a year.
That's really cool.
And I'm a Scorpio. I like to get down with it. I like to have a good time. So even though I'm not, you know, of the world, I'm not out there getting drunk and whatnot. I'm in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with people drinking
Do you
at
drink
all.
alcohol?
Very, very, very rarely. But like that's just because I don't vibe with it in the way that I used to. Nothing against it or anything, but like sometimes I'll indulge, why not? I'm a human. I'm here to have a human experience. I'm balanced. Everything in balance is okay. Everything in moderation. But I like being able to go out there because people are not coming out to rallies to get sloshed.
Mm-hmm.
They're coming out there to have a good time. It's the local bartending sometimes for me that gets a little much because they come in, they complain about their day, same thing every day. Oh, you're getting drunk. Oh, I got to deal with this. Okay. It becomes such a routine that there's no like happiness behind it. Of course, I love my regulars and my locals and I enjoy doing it a couple days a week, but I could never do it again full time like that unless it's somewhere that's very high energy, very fun, very, whatever. And people want to come out and they want to spend money.
Yeah.
They want to spend money. They want to have a good time. They want to spank their brother. They want you to hit this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I freaking bought a pair of fake titties. Like they're like double G's. They're like white ones,
Yeah.
and they're silicone titties. And like I'll like smack people in the face with it and shit like that. Like I'll get up on the bar and smack people in the face with it just because it's funny. You're there to
Yeah.
have an experience. Nobody wants to go. You're paying $8 for a beer. You're paying $7 for a beer. The drinks are expensive, but you're going because you're not going to go buy 13 beers. You're going to go home, have a little bit of alcohol, come out, have a couple beers, maybe a couple shots, and enjoy what's happening around you.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to see all these brands. Like right now, I'm working with a brand called So Damn Good, and their clothing line is just dropping in Daytona, and their whole entire slogan is just whatever makes you feel so damn good. And they want you to be able to wear that. So they have like sweatpants, they have hats, they have t-shirts, they have tank tops, and it's just real sports bras. And it's really cool because we get to be able to spread their message as we're doing our work, and we get to spread love. I get to spread love.
Mm-hmm.
People come to me because it's my energy, because they're my friend, and this is duality of life, right? And then on top of it, I'm so blessed because I get to teach people about plant medicine. I get to inspire people. I get to open their eyes into a whole different world and go, hey, I'm still in this world and I'm over here doing this thing too. It's okay to be of all. I received, like, I went head to head with one of my mentors, actually, not head to head, but he completely disagrees with my path, thinks that words out of his mouth, you sold yourself to the devil. You are a hypocrite. These words came out of his mouth to me when I was in the Amazon.
Yeah.
And I cried because I was like, you don't know how I feel towards the medicine. It's me and the medicine, and every other healer, every other practitioner, every other person goes, I admire how you just live your life authentically. I don't want to be doing rallies, bartending that way for the next 10 years. But guess what? It's a great way for me to learn deeper into events. And that way I can take plant medicine healing and meet it at the top and create events there. The goal is for ultimate healing, ultimate vibration rising, for us all to connect. And for us all to connect, we actually have to connect on something. And that's what I feel I do, is I connect with people from all walks because I've walked all those paths. Some way I can connect, I can sympathize, I can understand.
Well, and I think that you bring an incredibly big point up with that, is just that it is important to, well, I guess a few good points is that it is important to just live your life. It is important to live an authentic life. And it is important for balance. And we are human, and it is important to dive into the human experience as well, as long as you're not allowing yourself to get consumed. That's one of the bigger issues with the world, is that we get consumed, or yeah, we get consumed into things, and we then like overindulge, and then it's just like this big problem. But if we're living in balance, it is what it is. And then also, like, the fact that you are doing all your spiritual stuff, you're doing your plant medicine, you're doing all of the things, and then you're able to go out and be around a bunch of biker guys and hitting them in the face with titties and like whatever, like doing that. But then also being able to say like, hey, like, yeah, I also do plant medicine, and I also can send energy with my hands, and I'm also connected with my guides, God, universe, whatever, and I'm meditating, I'm doing, and all this stuff. But also, hey, look, I'm also just a regular person in society as well. And it just opens it up to people to understand that, like, you don't have to be the hippy dippy person that only does high vibrational stuff in your life at all times. But
There's a new wave, man.
There is a new wave.
There's a new wave of enlightenment. There's like, I don't have to be all love and light, because I'm going to function from my heart regardless. Wherever I am, whether I'm in the dark, I'm functioning from my heart. Whether I'm in the light, I'm functioning from my heart. If I'm in the midway, I'm functioning out of my heart. And guess what? That's made out of light. You know what I mean? So it's like, it doesn't matter. If I'm in a dark situation, I'm there to be the light and to help guide. You know what I mean? I've walked through the depths of hell. I've done it all. We would have to have a whole entire other day to talk about some shit that I've been through. But the point is that I'm here now, and I understand the mission and the goal is just for unity. And being able to see what's going on in the world right now and seeing it from this point of view, where I've already like kind of been down that rabbit hole, it's like we're on the people like us are on the front lines to help people come down when they crash, and we're going to help raise them. And I was talking to my wife the other day, and I said, man, I go, we're so involved in what's happening in the world all the time that we're distracted, because we got to pay rent, we got to pay for a house, we got to work to live, to all this money that we're trying to earn is right going into exactly what's distracting us. And because we're distracted, people can't find their calling. I'm so grateful it took me so long to find it, because it gave me multiple opportunities to make the mistakes and to see and to learn and the lessons. Because if I was in a 9-to-5 job right now, or if I was in a career where I had to only deadline, where the fuck was I going to find the time to truly go inward and find this? And I was telling her, I wish and I pray for a day where our society and our collective is only going inwards. Because if they only go inwards, they're going to find their heart, they're going to find their passion, they're going to find their reason why God creator, source created them, put them here, put that into use, and it all just magically works.
Yes.
Because when we're all tapped in with ourselves, we're tapped into the vibration of God. Am I right? So then we're all doing God's work, which is not fucking working at a deli.
Right.
Which is not working on IT. That's not God's work.
Well, and I think COVID played a big role in people going inward and realize, because a lot of people had like a chance to stop for a second, even though there was some crazy propaganda being spread of how like everyone's gonna die basically. But like, I think there was a lot of people that had a chance to like sit with themselves and realize, what the fuck am I doing working this job? Or what am I doing with my life in general? I need to get out in nature more. Or I need to connect more with myself. And that's why I feel like I've seen so many people after COVID that are creating their own business and trying to take their own path. And like people that were HVAC guys or girls that were working for a company are now trying to start their own business, and just like all of those things, because I think that people have had that time to sit down for a second. And like, I had an experience maybe 6-7 months ago where I was like divinely led to a place where this guy asked me, hey, do you want to take over this portfolio of properties to manage them, and you know, it would be kind of like a side thing for you. And I was like, absolutely not. I don't want anything to do with that. And then like my guys are like, no, like you have to do that. Like it's very important. I'm like, I don't. So like it's a long story that I'm going to make short. That basically I was like fighting my guides, not fighting, but like I don't really want to do this. But my guides are like, just go to the meeting, and I went to the meeting, and then it like ended up being perfect at the meeting, and then everything just fell in line. And then when we took that over, though, that profile or that portfolio hadn't been taken care of for like 4 months or 5 months. So it was a shit show. So, like, I had to dive full in on that while I was doing sessions 3 days a week and teaching and doing my Monday meditation or healing circle, whatever it was. Like, there was a lot going on. And I got in flight or fight mode. And I haven't been in flight or fight mode in so freaking long that I was like, I couldn't connect to my guides for like a week before I realized I'm in freaking flight. Like usually I catch it, and if I'm going into any kind of energetic state that isn't going to serve me, I catch it so quickly and it's gone. But because of how hectic things were and how consumed I was with everything, I got in flight or fight mode, and I couldn't connect. I couldn't connect with my heart center. I couldn't hear where my guides were telling me to go, what they were telling me to do. I couldn't feel where I needed to go next. I felt like I was disconnected from everything except for property management or whatever. And at that moment, when I pulled myself out, I realized this is society. Like, this is what society is going through. And this is why when people say, I try to meditate and I just can't really connect, that's why, because they're so fucking consumed with everything. So it just brought a new look at it, or at the way that people are processing things and why they can't really connect with things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like piggybacking off of that and talking about balance, right? Like something that I do every day is I take a moment. You know, life is a ceremony. It's what I've been taught. Life is a ceremony. You live your life like ceremony. Whether I'm going to beat somebody's ass behind a bar or whether I'm going to sit in ceremony to serve medicine, the way that I wake up, the gratitude I have, the things that I say, the way I cleanse myself, my intentions for the day, my prayers, they all stay the same. Same thing when I go to bed. So when I wake up and when I go to sleep, every single night and every single AM is the same. What happens in the middle is what happens in the middle. But it's very important to me that I'm always cleansing myself spiritually. Like behind the bar, I will have agua de Florida. I will have a selenite. I will smudge myself when I get home. Sometimes I'll carry mapacho with me. All these things, because I understand where my channels are and how open they are and how I'm also an empath, so I take people's energy. I had to really learn and figure out a way to make it work for me without having to take in all of this energy. So it's something that people can take into practice for themselves, is if you can take the time to create the ceremony in your own life, everything in between, it's just what happens in between.
I agree. And I think, like, if you look at it as like you have your spiritual side of things, you have your physical side of things, and then it's like the middle just kind of merges and it happens. But like, if we hold, actually, let me say it like this: people like you and I, because I'm a normal guy as well, and by what I mean by normal is I do society kind of things. Like, I'm going to go to a football game, I'm going to go down to a friend's house, sit around a fire and drink a few beers every once in a while. But like, I think that if you have your spiritual side and that's all you do is live in that love and light, and you block out any other kind of lifestyle, and you just try to hold that vibration, which is good to keep your vibration up. But if you do that, you're not reaching anyone but the people that are ready to move into your area of things. And then when you go down here, if you're in the physical all the time and you're not going out into the spiritual people aren't going to come into the physical most of the time. But if you're able to go into both and and be able to move into the physical, into the spiritual, it like you're bringing both sides together. You're acting like a bridge, basically. And when I first got into this, all the older ladies were like, because I was like 26, 25, 20 something, all the older ladies were like, we are so happy to see a younger person getting into this, because you're relatable. Like you wear normal clothes, you just do your normal thing, you are very approachable, but also you'll talk about past life experiences or God or angels or guides and stuff. And they were like, you're gonna help bridge the gap. And at that time I was like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. Didn't know what they were really talking about. But now looking into it, I mean, it is important for people like us to be able to bridge that gap and be able to be in the bar and say those passive things that we say to someone that might alter their life. And it doesn't mean we have to preach to people all the time, but it does mean that we are just coming from a place of wisdom, kind of like you're saying. You're still holding yourself the same as you are when you're doing the ceremonies versus when you're in the bar. You're still that same centered person. Yeah, things might kind of make you out of whack at times when you're in that scenario, but like ultimately that's who you are, and you can bring that into the physical. And then people might start asking, wow, why does Suzi feel so centered, or why does her energy feel so good, or something. And then they realize it's because you're tapping in, tuning in, and centered and all that stuff.
Yeah,
So
I have a lot of people in the rally industry that reach out to me for healings, for plant medicine, or just to ask me about things or advice. And I feel like that's
nice.
exactly why I'm there. And the reason why I go through, whatever I'm being taught, is because I'm meant to help. I mean, you think back on Jesus, Yeshua, like he wasn't just popped up in love and light. You
Mm-hmm.
know, he was doing all the stuff with everybody else that needed the help. You know what I mean? So I just that's the kind of energy, you just go where it feels good. Right now, rallies still feel good.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I have to move right now. My energy usually tells me when it's time. When it's like, okay, you got to go. I feel completely in flow. And being able to do the plant medicines and doing the rallies has allowed me to let go and release that control. And since I was younger, because I obviously got disowned, so I was taking care of myself from a younger age. Not that young, but pretty young for Arabic girl.
Yeah.
But I was taking care of myself and stuff like that. And I've always been money, 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 money. I got to make sure I have money. If I have money, I have shelter. If I have money, I have food. So I've always been very structured around money. And in 2025, I quit my job that was stable in order to pursue plant medicine and shit, just events, and here I am, like completely surrounded, like whatever walks into my path, walks in my path, what leaves, leaves. And I know that I'm always going to be exactly where I need to be as long as I keep on functioning from a place of love and doing the right steps in order to get to where I need to go. And that looks like, for me, small steps.
Mhm.
I do a lot. Right now I'm taking 2 courses this year while doing a bunch of rallies and stuff like that and still working part-time. That's still a lot. But in my mind, I've broken it down and I know I can't put more on my plate until I'm done with that. And that's okay, because that's the speed that I comprehend. And that's why I'm gradually growing, because that's my pace. And there's
Mhm.
nothing wrong with that. I never was meant to go crunch in school. Not my vibe. I was good at school. Stress me out. My hands are getting hot. Just thinking about it. I'm like, we're
Sending
not
healing that
healing, sending
way.
healing to the parts. But yeah, I'm just really happy with everything right now, and the future is very, very bright. You know what I mean? There's
Mhm.
just unlimited tapped potential for this industry. There's for this path that I'm on, and it's funny because I was giggling about it the other day, and I was like, "Hey, I can't start plant medicine. I'm good."
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And it's like,
Well, and I was just talking about this last night actually in our meditation, and because there was someone there that's like, I feel stuck. Like I feel like my guides are always telling me to be patient and trust the process, but I'm ready for things to happen. And I'm like, you have to have patience and whatever. But like, and they were like, I talk to my guides, but I feel like they just always tell me to be patient and so on. And I was telling them, I was like, I can go into meditation and say, God, guides, angels, higher self, whatever, come down to me, and I can talk with them. But like, they're usually not like, tomorrow you need to go online and apply for this job and do this. They're usually like, your whatever is needing to happen is happening soon, and you need to just stay on your path, be patient, present, or whatever. And I was telling them, I go where I feel led. Like at this point, I feel like I have a compass, and like if I turn this way, I feel like my compass is still pulling me that way. So then when I turn, I feel that I'm aligned with that compass, and that's just the way that I go. And then you said exciting, it still excites you and stuff. And that's like my motto in life is if something feels like it excites me, I'm all for it. I'm going for it. For example, this podcast, I've been asked to do podcasts like for myself to hold a podcast probably like 10 to 30 times in the past like 3 years. And each time I'm like, not, maybe one day I'll do it. I have other things going on and stuff. Never did I feel my energy jump at it. And then had a conversation with a friend, was talking about that conversation in the car with my wife. And she was like, I know you thought about it before, but like, have you recently revisited the idea of like doing a podcast? And I was like, yeah, but I don't really. But like my energy was like whoosh and like jumped out at it, and I was like,
love that feeling.
Hold on a second, and I was like, actually, I think I might actually do a podcast. So then, by that night, I had my Facebook page, my Spotify, my Apple Pod, like everything set up, bought the cameras, and just had everything ready, and now I'm doing it and it feels great. It feels good. And it's taking me out of my comfort zone in some ways with talking to people that I don't know and like interviewing them in a way or talking with them. So it's like I'm growing. And also I've pulled cards and it's like perfectly in alignment with what I'm doing here. And it's like, so anyway, what I'm getting at is once you find that inner compass, life is so easy, but you have to have patience and you have to have trust and faith. Someone channeled last night a message from their higher self, and it was, if you can hold something along these lines, if you can hold faith in your heart, all your wishes will come true, or something along those lines. And it was like, that is so true, because if you have faith that the universe and everything that's happening is working out for you, and that's not like an ego thing, that's like having trust, because the universe wants you to pursue your mission or your experience or whatever, and you just move through life with that faith, the things are going to happen. And you're in that place right now where you're like, I'm not rushing anything, I'm just allowing things to happen.
Absolutely.
And that's life. And that's where I've been for probably 3 or 4 years now, and then on and off for about 2 years prior to that. But like at this point, I'm like, you're not going to miss the opportunity, you're not going to miss the signal, you're not going to miss the sign, you're going to end up exactly where you need to be. There's no reason to rush. I know it sucks where you're at right now sometimes, but the universe is shuffling, it's working, and it's going to get you to where you need to be.
Yeah. So. And there's another one that it's like, whatever God universe is trying to plan for you, it's like, it's not even in your mind, because you can't even fathom how amazing it really is. So you trying to manifest your small thing that you think that you want to do, God's like, no, not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. There's more. Keep on
Someone
going.
said in like a video one time I watched, and it might not be the best, the perfect quote that of what he said, but he said something like, if you can imagine it, or if you can like think it, then it's most likely not going to happen, because it's already happened. And there's much more, like you're not going to be shown the greatness that you're going to achieve, or like you're not going to be shown where you're going to be at, maybe little bits and pieces to help you or whatever. But like, I don't know, I just think for me, I never like having the Center for Healing Integration and having different locations and different practitioners. That was something that I was like, that would be amazing to do. But I honestly never thought that was actually going to happen, maybe in the future, but then like it did, and it just happened. And it's like, when I was standing in the center, I'm like, what in the hell am I doing right now? Like I don't even have people to fill these offices, but I just knew it was something I needed to do. So that trust, that faith, and I went through with it, and now it's the most amazing thing ever. But it's like, you have to just listen to the universe and be patient, basically. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're at about 2 hours now.
Wow.
So we'll, I know it went so fast. I checked my time and I was like, it's almost 2 hours. So
shit, that was a long time.
It was. We'll have to, at some point, chat again. And it was extremely great seeing you today. I haven't seen you in a while. And for anybody that is wanting to reach out to you, or I think you used to at least do stuff on TikTok and stuff or whatever, like if you want to just take a second to let them know how they can get a hold of you.
Sure. Yeah. Hey, you can find me on my Facebook, Suzi Butts, or you can find me at Butts Healing on Facebook as well. That's more of my plant medicine healing page. But if you want to follow me on Instagram and on TikTok for more authentic content, it's just Mrs. Butts 11, MRS.BUTTS 11 on both of them. So yeah, give us a follow because me and Em are gonna try to do more content and get more in the spotlight. So give us some love.
That's awesome. I think you two, the duo is great as well. So I think anything that you all do together is going to work out.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Well,
I'm so honored to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I love you so much. You know, you're like a brother to me. So I'm just so grateful. And yeah, have me back anytime you want.
Well, you're very welcome. I'm honestly, when I thought about the podcast, you were someone that popped in my head immediately. So I'm very happy that you came, and I always enjoy being in your presence and chatting with you. So, all right.
Love.